welcome to my part of the Mikey Sutton Scoop Jam. As his way of saying thank you to 8 YouTubers who have shown him support this year, 2019, he's giving each of them an exclusive scoop to drop on December 18th. Well, my friends, today is the 18th, and I am one of those YouTubers, so let's talk about this scoop. Before we start, let me thank you for watching JLS Comics, whether it's your first time here or you're back for more. Don't forget to share this, subscribe, and check out our playlist. Also, be sure to check out the videos from the other YouTubers who are part of the Mikey Sutton Scoop Jam. Links will be in the description for them. Alright, let's get on to the video. So the quote that Mikey was kind enough to provide to us here exclusively involves Greg Berlanti and HBO Max. As you know, Berlanti is responsible for the much-loved CW suite of DC comic shows, which means Supergirl, Flash, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and Black Lightning. He also has EP credits on some of the DC Universe OTT streaming shows like Doom Patrol, Stargirl, and of course Titans. Warner's third outlet for comic book content is via HBO Max. Warner Media is seeking to quickly ramp that streaming platform up from launch to immediately capture market share and play in a really crowded space with Netflix, Disney Plus, and a whole host of others. They're throwing a lot of money into production, into budgets, into original content, exclusive streaming rights, and quality creative talent. They've also given Greg Berlanti room to develop additional comic book content for HBO Max. In fact, he signed a $400 million deal with Warner in 2018, which extends his contract an additional 4 years to 2024. His contract actually has clauses where more cash kicks in, the more prolific he becomes. He's literally incentivized to create more content for Warner Media, and his brand is superheroes. As of this recording, we know he's already attached to Strange Adventures and to the recently announced Green Lantern projects for HBO Max. I also revealed to you Berlanti's intent to adapt the Kingdom Come Elseworld story, another Mikey scoop by the way, and I've also revealed to you in the past that Berlanti has about 7 to 10 comic book related projects in various stages of development, although most are in pre-scripting stages, but those are going to be part of that HBO Max launch party over the course of a couple years. This doesn't include the Snyder Cut, which is not Berlanti's, which is said, and I've been saying it here, that it will launch on HBO Max in the first couple of years of its life, which will attract a larger swath of subscribers to the platform. Some of the shelved theatrical projects may see a new life on HBO Max, like Batgirl, Booster Gold, maybe Zatanna, or a second season of DC Universe's Swamp Thing, which could capitalize on this bigger budget allowance. These can be completely separate or intertwined, as the massive success of Berlanti and CW's Crisis Event, which does indeed tie multiple channels, eras, and segments of the DC Universe together, has certainly encouraged and empowered Berlanti to do. So what else could there be? Well, this brings us to Mikey Sutton's scoop. So here we go. And so nothing is lost in interpretation. I'm going to read to you verbatim what he told me. Quote, Greg Berlanti is going cosmic again. While members of the Legion of Superheroes have appeared on Supergirl, Berlanti hasn't been given enough flight rings to fully realize the 30th century icons. That will change, as Berlanti is planning a big budget Legion of Superheroes miniseries for HBO Max. There's no time frame yet, but development has begun. Whether or not this will be consistent with Supergirl remains to be seen. Berlanti has more funds to play around with here, so hiring larger actors is a possibility. Which Legion lineup? That hasn't been solidified yet, although Berlanti is particularly fond of the 1980s run. End quote. So, wow, a lot to unpack there. First thing to note here is that there are indeed multiple iterations of the superpowered, time-traveling cosmic team. The Legion of Superheroes first appeared in the late 1950s in Adventure Comics, specifically 1958's Adventure Comics issue 247. Frequently teaming with Superboy in those early years, the team consisted of characters like Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, Cosmic Boy, Mon-El, Sunboy, Brainiac 5, Triplicate Girl, a bunch of time-traveling kids, really. Later iterations would include tons of other characters like Dawnstar and Timberwolf, but a lot of these characters would be recurring and revolving through the roster through multiple iterations. We've seen some of these already on screen, like Brainiac 5, for example, is a character portrayed on CW, even as recently as the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover of 2019. And then another big one was Mon-El. He showed up as a love interest to Melissa Benoist's Kara, Supergirl, and we even had flight rings on both Flash and Supergirl. So his desire to use this team and these characters is certainly there, but he's been held back a bit by having this be on CW. And that's what Mikey was referring to. Due to the plot, budgeting, and other factors, that's really as far as we're able to explore at this point. The intent is certainly there, the want and desire is there, and now the means to realize this talking about HBO Max, is now available. One final point I'll make is that in 1989, a fourth volume of Legion of Superheroes was launched. That's the volume Mikey says that Berlanti is particularly fond of. This iteration was quickly cast aside. Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, and that messed with Superman's continuity, and then Zero Hour gave us some scary powers to Hal Jordan. But anyways, interestingly, with this fourth iteration, nearly 26 years later, DC Comics has announced an omnibus hardcover collection of the fourth volume. Why now? Mikey Scoop. That's why. That's a wrap on this one, my friends. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, corrections, and suggestions down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you can be a part of all our videos doing old. I'm Jesse. This is JLS Comics. I'll see you soon.